Eliza cast another glance toward the tractor shed. The strangers were getting into their Ford coupe. She took off a glove and put her strong fingers down into the forest of new green chrysanthemum sprouts that were growing around the old roots. She spread the leaves and looked down among the close-growing stems. No aphids were there, no sow-bugs or snails or cutworms. Her terrier fingers destroyed such pests before they could get started. Eliza started at the sound of her husband's voice. He had come near quietly, and he leaned over the wire fence that protected her flower garden from cattle and dogs and chickens. "At it again," he said. "You've got a strong new crop coming." Eliza straightened her back and pulled on the gardening glove again. "Yes, they'll be strong this coming year." In her tone and on her face there was a little smugness. "You've got a gift with things." Henry observed. "Some of those yellow chrysanthemums you had this year were 10 inches across. I wish you'd work out in the orchard and raise some apples that big." Her eyes sharpened. "Maybe I could do it, too. I've a gift with things, all right. My mother had it. She could stick anything in the ground and make it grow. She said it was having planters' hands that knew how to do it." "Well, it sure works with flowers," he said. "Henry, you were those men you were talking to." "Why, sure, that's what I came to tell you. They were from the Western Meat Company. I sold those 30 head of 30-year-old steers. Got nearly my own price, too." "Good," she says, "good for you." "And I thought," he continued, "I thought how it's Saturday afternoon, and we might go to Salinas for dinner at a restaurant, and then to a picture show to celebrate, you see?" "Good," she replied. "Oh, yes, that will be good." Henry put on his joking tones. "There's fights tonight. How'd you like to go to the fights?" Oh, no," she said breathlessly. "No, I wouldn't like the fights. Just fooling Eliza. We'll go to a movie. Let's see. It's 2 now. I'm going to take Scotty and bring down those steers from the hill. It'll take us maybe 2 hours. We'll go in town about 5 and have dinner at the Cominos Hotel. Like that?" "Of course I like that. It's good to eat away from home." "All right, then. I'll go get a couple of horses." She said, "I'll have plenty of time to transport some of these sets, I guess." She heard her husband calling Scotty down by the barn, and a little later she saw the 2 men ride up the pale yellow hillside in search of the steers. There was a little square sandy bed kept for rooting the chrysanthemums. With her trowel she turned the soil over and over and smoothed it and patted it firm. Then she dug 10 parallel trenches to receive the sets. Back at the chrysanthemum bed, she pulled out the little crisp shoots, trimmed off the leaves of each one with her scissors, and laid it on a small orderly pile. A squeak of wheels and plod of hoofs came from the road. Eliza looked up. The country road ran along the dense bank of willows and cottonwoods that bordered the river, and up this road came a curious vehicle, curiously drawn. It was an old spring wagon with a round canvas top on it like the cover of a prairie schooner. It was drawn by an old bay horse and a little gray and white burro. A big stubble-bearded man sat between the cover flaps and drove the crawling team underneath the wagon. Between the hind wheels, a lean and rangy mongrel dog walked sedately. Words were painted on the canvas in clumsy, crooked letters. Pots, pans, knives, scissors, lawnmowers fixed. 2 rows of articles, and the triumphantly definitive fixed below. The black paint had run down in little sharp points beneath each letter.